Hey guys, this is MusicTechHelpGuy and welcome to part 17 of my pop rock mixing series in Logic Pro 10. Today we are going to work with the pitch correction plugin, which is essentially sort of like a cheap version of Auto-Tune, but it's actually pretty useful just for fine-tuning certain parts of your vocal performance. One of the things that's been irking me throughout this series that I probably should have fixed earlier, but I just kept forgetting to do so, is the front end of the first verse and the front end of the second verse. There's just, it sounds like a little flat to me. It sounds like some of the words are just a little bit flat, and I really want to sort of tighten that up, tighten up the pitch on it, and I really just don't want to use flex pitch on it. I just want something easy. And for something like this, the pitch correction plugin will work just fine as long as you know how to use it. So I'm going to show you how to use it properly. So just so you can hear, here's the before the pitch correction.
You took the best of me when you told me you're in love.
On "You Took the Best," it just she sounds a little bit flat. And then here's the second verse.
You took it off from me, sent shudders down my spine.
Yeah, again, on the word "took," she just sounds like she's a little flat, you know, like she didn't really come into the note on key, you know. So here's what I'm going to do. We are going to set the key for our pitch correction. Actually, first let's add pitch correction. I'm going to go to my verse lead vocal track. I have it soloed for now. And what I've done is I've pulled the EQ and compressor plugins that we already have in the channel down one slot, and I'm adding the pitch correction first. So let me just unbypass that. Let's actually listen to what the pitch correction does just with the pitch correction plugin on there.
You took the best of me when you told me you're in love.
So you can see it's sensing what note she's singing, and it's also showing us what the correction amount on each note is. Now what we can do is we can pull the response down, and the response time is the amount of time it takes for the pitch correction to kick in. So if you pull it all the way down, it's going to get that sort of auto-tune sound to it.
You took the best of me when you told me you're in love.
And you can see that the correction amount's going crazy down here. Now, really what we need to do is do something a little bit more conservative. Just pull it up a little, a little bit more. I guess it's not really conservative, but just sort of something that doesn't immediately take place. So let's pull it up to like that. The other thing we need to do is we need to set what notes actually need to be tuned. We don't need to have all these extra notes, all 12 notes in the chromatic scale, if we're not using all 12 notes of the chromatic scale. If you sort of like, you can do this two different ways. You can either just know what the key of the song is and then select the key of the song up here, or you can manually turn on and turn off certain notes. So if I hit play, we can sort of look and watch and see which notes are actually being used.
You took the best of me when you told me you're in love.
So it looks like to me it's A sharp or B flat, A, G, F, F sharp and G sharp are not being used, B is not being used, C and D are being used, and then C sharp, D sharp, and E are not being used. Let's try that now that we've turned off those notes.
You took the best of me when you told me you're in love.
Cool, it's better, but when she vibratos on the D down here, you can really, really hear some weirdness going on.
Told me you're in love.
See how it's jumbling all over the place? So what you can do is you can actually, the notes where she has vibrato, you can bypass the tuning on those notes. So D, she has vibrato on, and later on, I think on G, she has some vibrato as well.
You know it's magical when my tears are raining blood. You told me everything that I wanted to hear.
Yep. Right there on the G note, she's got vibrato, so we can ignore that note by bypassing it. So bypassing basically allows the note to be recognized as a note, but it doesn't tune that note intentionally. If we were to just turn it off, it's going to sound even weirder.
You stole the magic from my heart.
Whoops, let me turn off G here.
You stole the magic from my heart.
See, it's not even recognizing G as a note in her melody. So by turning these on, it recognizes the note, but bypassing just doesn't correct those notes. So let's listen to that whole thing again.
You took the best of me when you told me you're in love. You know it's magical when my tears are raining blood.
And if you intentionally want that auto-tune sound, you can pull the response time down to all the way fast.
You took the best of me when you told me you're in love. You know it's magical when my tears are raining blood.
It's just a matter of, like, using this plugin properly is just a matter of knowing which notes to bypass. And sometimes it'll end up, sometimes in the past when I've used this, I've actually broken up some of my vocal melodies onto different tracks and chose different notes for different shorter clips of the vocal melody. Now, another way to do this, if you don't know exactly what notes are being used, you can go by the scale or the key of your song. So I know that this song is in a minor key, so I'm going to choose the natural minor scale, and you can choose a root of G. And what it's going to do is it's only going to pick notes that are in the G minor scale. It just so happens that every single note in the G minor scale is used for this vocal melody in the verse, except for E flat or D sharp. Technically in the key of G minor, the note is E flat, but D sharp is the enharmonic equivalent of it. And then we still need to bypass the G and the D. So let's go over to the second verse and let's see how that one fares.
You took it off from me, sent shudders down my spine.
Much better. Remember, here's the before.
You took it off from me, sent shudders down my spine.
Doesn't sound terrible, but it's not as tight as with the plugin.
You took it off from me, sent shudders down my spine.
All right, let's listen to both of these in context with all the music in. So let's just unsolo the verse. Let's give this give the first verse a listen. Cool, so that's the first verse, and the second verse. Yeah, that second verse is maybe just a little bit too auto-tuney sounding, so I'm just going to pull up the response just a touch for a little bit more natural tuning effect. Couple other controls. You can also detune the entire recording by plus or minus 50 cents. And if you are working with a male singer, you can use the low setting, or at least a lower male singer, you can use the low setting as opposed to the normal setting. All right, so that's the pitch correction plugin. Very simple to use. In the next video, we're going to move on to adding automation to our mix. Then after that, we're going to move on to building transitions. And then we're going to build the intro that the iTunes version of the song has. And then we'll pretty much be done with the mixing phase. And then we'll move on to the mastering phase. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.